Hi, Tiff.
Hi, Teal.
Welcome to
The Movie Girls.
So new episode. Very excited. We're going for this is my pick this week.
How many episodes do you think we're at?
I know because I write them down every.
Oh, you do? Tell me.
This is number 11. Plus one rant. Because Captain Marvel didn't count as a full episode.
This is 11 and a half.
11 and a half.
Congratulations on your 11th and a half
Congratulations
episode.
to you on your 11th and a half episode.
Thank you.
Very exciting. We did not plan next episode well, because next episode is 12, and our movie
12
is a
and a half.
number
Oh,
that we should
shit.
You'll realize later. Anyway, this week is episode 11. It's Teal's choice. Realized last week that Tiff hasn't really seen a ton of really old movies, and I love old movies.
I haven't seen any classic movies.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Any, really? No.
Right. So this has prompted me to choose some things from my love of classic
Yeah,
films.
Teal's going to
and go old
educate me
school.
on some classic...
There was a sound from the kitchen. I don't know what it was.
a
We're going
ghost.
to ignore it.
It's a classic ghost
Oh, no.
of Katharine
Ooh.
Hepburn.
Ooh.
Spoilers.
Speaking of Catherine, so this week's movie is Little Women, the 1933 version, not any of those newer ones. This is the one. And I read a thing. Wait. Oh, yes. It's widely, this version is considered, of all the many TV and movie adaptations, this one is widely believed to be the best, due in large part to Katharine Hepburn's portrayal of Tomboy Joe. So
Ooh.
this is when people, I guess, generally talk about Little Women, this is the version that is considered to be the best version.
Okay.
Closest
that's
to the
exciting.
book. It's very true and honest and naive in all the best ways, and it's very believable. What Catherine said in her autobiography when speaking of this film, the reason that Hierman and Mason, the screenwriters' screenplay, worked so well was that it was simple and true and naive, but really believable. Mason and Hierman believed the book, so did I. The others didn't. The others being the other times people have tried. So
Right.
This is the one considered by Katharine Hepburn, but by a lot of people as the version.
Okay, so this version is from 1993.
1933.
What did I say?
93.
Yeah, that's classic, isn't it?
It's classic. Yeah, super retro. Vintage.
But there's 1933, 1949, 1994. I think I'm missing
There's
one
a lot.
between
There's
those times.
actually a lot. I looked it up. There's so many. There's actually.
Well, I counted 6.
Oh,
There's
really?
one
Plus
this year.
There was and there was even actually ones before this. There was a 1918.
Oh yeah, there were 2 silent
versions
ones.
that were silent movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first
Just
talkie
fascinating.
Little
the
Women.
first talkie.
But I've only seen the 1994 one with like Winona Ryder and Susan Sarandon and
yeah. And
who else was in that?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst.
And
Oh.
other
Who was in
people.
shit.
Let's do a quick Google, figuring it out, and we have a jingle for the time that's being wasted. Did you get it? No.
It's loading.
Should I keep jingling? Hold on, I got it. Winona Ryder, Kirsten Dunst.
Oh yeah,
Claire
Christian
Danes.
Bale played Laurie. Oh yeah, Claire Danes. That's who I was trying to think of, but I couldn't think of her name. So that's the version that I've seen so many times, and then I read the book after that, and
I've actually never read the book.
I don't even remember the book. We'll talk about the book later, though.
Okay.
But anyway,
Great.
I digress.
No, too
as
many
well.
things. We got excited.
We did.
Budget was $1 million. Could not find out how much it grossed because also it was from 1933. So don't know. It was nominated for Best Director, Best Picture. It won Best Writing by writers Victor Hierman and Sarah Y. Mason. So it's a female writer, which is amazing. And they are a husband and wife duo. which I
Very
didn't
cool.
know. She's actually done. She's written for. Actually, she has 36 writing and screenplay credits.
Damn,
which
girl.
is pretty great for 30s and then onward. I thought was very, very interesting. I've been talking more about her. I got really excited because I have like bits
That's
and bobs.
fun.
We'll get into that more later, I swear. Do you have any fun things before we talk about the cocktail?
No, I'll leave it all for after.
Tiff picked the cocktail, and honestly, It makes me so happy, and I love how you went about it. Please tell us your thought process.
This cocktail is a very collaborative effort, but I had the thought last night that, we take each of the sisters and we create the cocktail around their personality. So we use 4 ingredients to represent 4 sisters, and Teal, was on board with this, which I was so thankful for.
Joy. My heart is so joyous and full, and I'm just full of smiles, and I love it so much.
Yeah, we couldn't have done it without the other. So let's start with the cocktail. The first sister is Meg.
Meg.
And her personality is, a little bossy, adventurous.
A vice, a little bit vain, likes beautiful things, bossy, overbearing, eldest sister.
Right. So our first thought was something very flavorful. I was just picturing something red and bright, and Teal was raspberries, and I was yes,
raspberry juice, and that's a big part of the flavor of the cocktail.
You want it to be a little overbearing.
Yeah.
So we muddled some fresh raspberries. We added a little bit of raspberry juice, and that was our Meg. Next up is Jo.
She's described as masculine, brave, determined, independent. Finds joy in whistling.
That was just a fun little random fact. So Jo's obviously the alcohol in the drink.
Totally.
And then Teal had the brilliant idea of using whiskey.
Whiskey, because it's a very masculine man's drink. She's tomboy. If she's gonna drink, she's probably gonna go for something more unconventional for a woman. And also, if she finds joy in whistling, maybe she'll like some whiskey. So there's a shot of Johnny Walker Red in there.
Yes. And then we had Beth.
Beth described as shy, gentle, musical, sweet.
Yeah, and this was kind of a more challenging one. We didn't want to overpower. We wanted just a very light, subtle flavor in there.
Yeah.
And subtle, I think, was the key word. So we used a little bit of grenadine.
Yeah. It goes with the red, a little bit of sweetness, but not too much. But you have to have some sort of sweet component in any cocktail, any good cocktail, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then Amy.
Amy, she's a little bit strained relationship with Jo. She's vain, spoiled, selfish, dramatic, yet talented and artistic. The baby of the family. She's just kind of a firecracker, effervescent, that kind of person.
Good word, effervescent. And that's exactly where my mind went, was effervescent. We were we need something fizzy, so that when you take a drink, you immediately feel fizzing bubbles on your tongue. I think that would be such a fun representation. What did we end up getting for this?
It was, I'm going to go to the kitchen because I promptly forgot what it's called.
Stall.
Yeah, you make a jingle.
I don't want a jingle.
I go to the kitchen and grab a bottle of stuff. So we got, it's kind of a weird thing. It's lightly pink in color. It's called Fever Tree is the brand, but it's an aromatic tonic water made with, I never know how to say this word, Angostura bark, like the Angostura bitters, but that stuff. So it's, I don't even really know what, we had a sip of it.
It's very light and almost a very slight florally flavor, and then it ends on a very bitter note on your tongue. It's really cool, and we thought it would be a really fun addition. So we don't know how all these flavors taste together, but just all of the drinks lined up together kind of created this gradient color family that was really cool. And then we put a sprig of fresh mint on top to kind of brighten it up. And that can represent
the mom we think we talked about Marmee.
Yeah, Marmee.
You gotta have something to sit on top of this thing.
Holding it all together. So this is the most exciting cocktail I think we've come up with, because we did it together and it's completely original.
I'm honestly so excited about the thought process. This is so thoughtful what you've made, and I'm so thrilled.
Let's hope it's not terrible.
But you know what? To families, because they are both terrible and awesome.
Cheers. Oh.
Dude.
It's really good.
I love it.
At first I was just kind of hit with the whiskey. And then I got a big chunk of raspberry, and it was
right. Nice. It's a little tart, but it's fizzy. It's not super words are hard. Overpowering in one overall flavor. It actually combines really well.
Oh, I think we did really good.
Holy shit. Oh my god, this metaphor is working on so many levels. It just keeps going.
Ooh, and it's not disgustingly sweet like all of my cocktails are.
You did. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I couldn't have come up with all these flavors without you, because you immediately knew. And the whiskey, I think, was a really smart choice.
Well, I just thought that seemed like the most Jo-ish.
Yeah, because it's fresh and fruity, but then the whiskey brings in this kind of smoky layer, and then the little bit of fizz and Ooh, perfect.
Everything is working. But there's sweetness, so you still get Beth, and it's
and like a little bit of bitterness too, which I like.
Like Beth is the most understated one because she's so shy, so it's very subtle, this sweetness in here, but it's there, but it doesn't hit you in the face. Like the whiskey, the raspberry, the tonic gets you more than anything else, but there is sweetness in there. It's still there.
Good.
It's not in your face. It's there.
Good job. What are we gonna call this one?
Oh, I don't know. We didn't even think of a name.
I know we didn't even think of a name. Well, we usually think of it after.
We do. We'll think of it after.
Okay.
It's like something with sisters, or I don't know.
The March family cocktail. No, that's dumb.
We'll
come up with something.
Brainstorming. We'll think of a thing. You'll hear about it. Actually, you'll probably already because we'll put a teaser up. So you'll know technically before we do or something because time travel is confusing. Okay,
Let's watch the movie.
We're gonna watch this and we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus.
Welcome back to the movie, girls.
We're here. It's been quite the journey.
Quite the journey.
My goodness.
Emotions ran high.
We're from New England in the early 1900s. I'm not really sure now, it's just gone. So we've watched the movie.
The movie.
Initial reactions, Tiffany?
It was good. I actually had a lot of fun. I didn't think it would be so much fun. We laughed quite hard.
Yeah, thank God we watched on the TV so you can do the little 7-second skip backs. You can repeat things all the time.
We rewatched quite a few.
Quite a lot. Yeah. Oh my God. Because you forget about that where old movies, they always seem that they're going to be boring and dry and dull, but they're actually really funny. And a lot of them do some really silly, hilarious things.
They're so over the top. And
so much.
Her reactions, she was actually really great, and her reactions just kind of made it.
Yeah. She was, the laugh. She's this fucking
They're just all so silly and over the top. I really enjoyed it. It was a good time.
I'm so glad you liked it. I was kind of you always get nervous when you recommend stuff, especially a movie you like. I haven't seen this one, but there's the whole genre of old movies, which isn't really a genre, but anyway, black and white old films, which I love. But you would get nervous showing somebody things you love, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, it's so different, too, than what you watch now. So, yeah, I could definitely see why people would be like, I'm not into old movies, but no, that was a good time.
They're really funny.
I would love to watch more.
Yeah, no, I have got some for you for sure. We're gonna have one day we're gonna watch Gone with the Wind, intermission and all. So we'll take a break. We'll need it. I actually just watched that 2 weeks ago, but I think it'd be really good for movie girls. I love Gone with the Wind. It's so good. Anyway, I don't even know where we should start. We have so many fun facts and interesting things.
Should we start in 1990? I keep wanting to say 1993.
I know you do, and it's just not the case.
1933.
1933.
Little bit of history.
Yes. Let's great. Please take us back to 1933 with a little bit of history.
It was a blustery cold day, the coldest day in 50 years. November 16th, 1993.
Oh, seriously, the day this came out?
Literally, the day it came out, it was the coldest day in 50 years.
Wow.
And yet, 23,000 people attended, which was
really?
one of the biggest movie openings. And considering it was so cold, it was a big deal.
Wow, that is a big deal.
It broke box office records for the time.
Yeah.
And it earned over $100,000 during its first week of release.
Oh, did you find that? I couldn't find.
I found that, and I also looked up how much it was today. How much do you think?
Oh, in today's terms, how much $100,000 is? Yeah. 14 million. Oh. Getting the up finger and then the down finger. 3 million.
Very close. 1.9 million.
I'm always good on my second guess.
You're really good on the second guess.
You always say, I second guess, I know where to go. Wow, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Should we chalk? I want to say chat and talk, so I said chalk. Check. We check about the director writers.
I would actually love to hear more about what's her name, Susan Y.
Sarah.
Yep,
Sarah Y. Mason.
Sarah Y. Mason. I went to her Wikipedia and there was pretty much nothing.
Very little.
Just the work she's done.
Yeah. So she did a lot of work with her husband Victor. I'm guessing it's Herman. It looks like Herman, but there's an extra E in there.
Herman.
Victor Herman.
You sounded Scottish.
Oh, I am great at accents, but don't ask me which ones they are.
It's an accent, okay.
Yeah, it is an accent.
Which accent are you doing? An accent.
An accent. And I like to show off how many I can do by mixing them all together.
You melting pot, if you will.
That was the same sentence. Whatever, it's not my rules. Just fuck you. And by you, I mean, I don't know, you people in general. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know where this is going. Anyway, Sarah Y. Mason, who's... pause. Okay. I didn't want it to go over any other of your old things. Sorry. Anyway, we were talking about Sarah Mason, whose husband is Victor Heerman. She did, I think I mentioned in the beginning, she has over 36 writing credits on IMDb and have screenplays and adaptations. I guess she and her spouse did a lot of adaptations of different novels and things like that. This, of course, being one of them. She, which I thought was really cool, she created the position of continuity girl.
Oh.
Which apparently was a girl. But the whole, continuity thing, the position of actually paying attention to continuity on films was her.
Interesting. Well, no one has an eye for detail like a woman.
That's true.
Like a girl.
That's all we're good for. Detail and cooking. Nope, that's not right. But I thought that was I thought that was really neat.
That is neat.
I didn't look up Victor because, whatever. Don't care.
And he was there too.
He was around as well. I thought that was really cool. And they actually had, they won the Oscar for Best Screenplay.
Very cool.
I wrote down Best Writing, but that's not that's not a category. I think it was Best Screenplay. I don't know. Anyway, they won stuff. Which I thought was very interesting. It's actually I was surprised at how many, I was looking at, I don't know, I kind of got lost in an IMDb hole. I was looking at her and Catherine, and I kind of bounced around. There's actually quite a few female writers.
That's awesome.
In the day, which is surprising. None now.
Yeah.
There's lots now. But there's lots. For the time, I was quite surprised at how many female writers were on these old movies that we kind of all know about, which I thought was very interesting. Did you have anything else about Sarah?
I had nothing about Sarah, no. Sorry.
I didn't have much about her. It's hard to find. I thought it was interesting that I didn't pick this at all for her. I just picked it because it was old and it's all about sisterhood and friendship and family, and again, very much about what the movie girls are about, and I was so pleasantly surprised to see that there was a female writer on staff. Yeah. Which was amazing. Cool. I was very happy. Yeah. What do you got?
Okay, well, in 1932, 1933, the film business, which I thought was interesting, Wikipedia referred to it as the film business instead of the film industry.
Oh, yes,
because it was a business back in the day, right? I mean, it still is, but
like show business.
It's absolutely right. The film business had come under fire for presenting an abundance of violent and sexually titillating material. Can you believe?
My goodness. I can't imagine.
So conservative people really championed the release of this film, and they even made it a part of school curriculum at the time.
Wow.
Because, it's so focused around family and
yes,
all of those
very much the values.
What's the word I'm looking for? Those
stereotypes?
No.
Gender norms?
No.
I don't know.
Values, all those healthy values of the day.
Excellent. That's a good word.
And what's interesting is the parallels between that time and the time that the movie took place in. So the movie takes place during the Civil War. Their father's off fighting in the war. And when this movie was released, it was, during the Great Depression and before the start of World War II. Mm-hmm. So because the release was so close to the start of World War II, it was relatable for audiences. It's the film. I already said that. Audiences could relate to the themes of frugality, conservation, activism, social reform, family, and morality. And the March Sisters kind of represented hope and determination that everybody needed during the Great Depression. So I think that's why this film did so well for its time, and it spoke to a lot of people. Yeah. Especially in America.
Well, and they said, too, that it took a lot to get this greenlit to actually go and happen, because nobody wanted... all the, studios and production heads and blah, 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 always saying... people don't want to see things of the Civil War. They don't want to see any of that stuff. It's never going to do well. So the success of this film, coincidentally, actually is one of the main reasons why Gone with the Wind actually took off.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the director of this, George... C-U-K-O-R. Cukor? George Core, who directed this, he actually went on to do a lot of stuff like Gone with the Wind and My Fair Lady and Philadelphia Story, blah blah. But David O. Selznick, he was attached to this in the first place, and he was one of the big producers and things on Gone with the Wind. But he started this project. Anyway, that was kind of one of the holes I fell down. Kind of on a weird side bed there. But I don't know. I kind of like all those old things. Yeah. I found that really interesting when I was doing the research.
That's interesting.
Anyway, continue. Sorry, I side-tailed that real bad.
It's okay. What else you got?
Well, I don't know. I got excited and I feel dumb. I have more stuff about. I think I looked up more. Oh gosh, I don't know. I looked up. I was looking into Katharine Hepburn because I just adore her. She's so great. She had such an amazing performance in this. It was just. I thought she did a really wonderful job. One stupid tiny fact about her that was hilarious and has nothing to do with literally anything. She did all her own stunts because the stunt women never stood up straight enough. Which I just thought was hysterical. That is fantastic.
It was a very physical role, though. Hey?
Yeah, but in all of her things, she just was like, no, they don't stand up straight enough.
So, do you think it was her call that the woman didn't stand up straight enough?
I feel like probably. She's very particular.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, she seems like quite the diva in the best sense. She's just very, I don't know, she's so much. Apparently, one of the other quotes I found about her was that she was one of the few great stars in Hollywood who made no attempt to sugarcoat her personality, her true personality, for anyone. A personality that was blunt and feisty.
Ooh.
I just thought that was awesome.
I like her. I was reading a little bit about her really, really early start in theater and stuff, and she was just kind of a mess in the beginning, just kind of would let her nerves get the best of her, but she just kept going. Even when people told her no, you're no good at this, she just kept on until she was successful. And I'm like, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah. And she was kind of I didn't read it this time. I read it when we watched Philadelphia Story a couple of months ago or whatever, and when I was doing looking at the IMDb trivia for that, but apparently she was a bit of a curse, a bit of a jinx. People didn't necessarily want to hire her or put her into things because a lot of stuff that she did would flop. Oh. Or something like that. But in Philadelphia Story, she didn't get any nominations or anything like that, but her 3 male co-stars all won in their categories they were nominated for, which I thought was really interesting. It was kind of broke the curse. People were afraid to work with her because she had a lot of nerves and what she just said. But I thought that was kind of interesting. So she's such because we all know that she's Katharine Hepburn, for God's sake. She's one of the greats of all time. Mm-hmm. But they didn't know that back then. She didn't know that.
No. Well, did you know in I think 1999 she was named the greatest female star of classic Hollywood cinema by the American Film Institute?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
And this is the first film I've seen of hers.
I think this was also her first major film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In the trailer, I watched the trailer for this today, which was really cute. But it was an introducing Katharine Hepburn or whatever. I'm just what?
Young star. That scene where the sisters are getting ready to put on a play and they're practicing, and she's kind of coaching Amy on how she wants her to act. Yeah. Is hysterical.
It's so good. She's incredible. Her range and commitment is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen a lot of her films. More of an Audrey Hepburn kind of a gal. But Katharine is also delightful.
I had to look up if they were related or not because I didn't know.
Why would you? They could be. You don't know. Who knows? That's not a weird thing to do. Until you have looked it up, it's very safe to assume that they are.
Okay, because I looked it up and I'm like, oh, they're not, and I was probably dumb for
they're super
not knowing.
But I looked that up, but I did a long time ago. But I also did that because the same last name. And what are the odds of that in Hollywood that there's going to be 2 people with the exact same
and back in the day
name?
too, I think it was probably a lot of families that would kind of all be known together, right?
Look at the Baldwins, for God's sake. There's 16 of them.
The Barrymores.
The Barrymores and the Baldwins and the Hemsworths.
Coppolas?
Yes, there's all... See, exactly. Exactly, there you go. All the reasons why that's not something stupid.
Yeah.
You're not stupid.
She sounds really cool, though. I have a little note about her.
Please.
I read that she shunned the Hollywood publicity machine, refused to conform to society's expectations of women. She was outspoken, assertive, athletic, God forbid, and wore trousers before it was fashionable for women to do so. So...
I can see the shape of your legs, you harlot. You have legs? I don't want to know.
Oh, she sounds like she was always pretty cool and her own person right from the start.
Mm-hmm. I was telling Tiff because we had a free preview of the Turner Classic Movie Channels. We just taped a ridiculous amount of things on there. And I have an hour-long biography of her life on there that I keep meaning to watch. And now I want to watch it even more.
I kind of want to watch it too.
We can watch it together.
Okay.
I don't know if I have a whole lot other things. I had one little bit of trivia about the movie, but I don't know how it ties into anything. So I'll just say it.
I've got some random trivia. Let's go for it.
Rando bits. My only rando bit is that Louisa May Alcott bestows the highest esteem upon Jo and Laurie, who, in their refusal to embody gender stereotypes, willingly expose themselves to particular obstacles. And I just think it was such an interesting thing, especially even just in their name, like Jo, but it's Josephine, and Laurie, whose real name is Theodore. Mm-hmm. And for 1930, I can't remember when the book came out, even well before that, but to already be, people are challenging gender norms and stereotypes, and I mean, that's the talk of the town nowadays all the time, that comes up constantly. And everyone's like, I don't know why people have to change things, and things are the way how they are is how they are, and why do you have to be different, why do you have to blah, blah, blah. It's but they were doing it almost 100 years ago.
Yeah, and he was the one who was expressing his love and being all emotional to her, and she was the one that was like, no, not feeling it. I think of you as a brother. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing to see.
Yeah, I agree. I just like that, and it's I find it refreshing hearing about what things were like decades before us, and it almost reestablishes and reaffirms why it's so important that we're having these conversations and arguments and debates about these subjects, because they're not actually
it's nothing new.
It's not new at all.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for ages, and the general thing is just people want to be who they are, and just let them.
Yeah.
It's not causing harm to others, so if they want to wear pants,
heaven forbid, trousers,
or express their love or be sensitive or whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
Why do you care so much? Let it go.
Let it go.
Be more of an Amy. Be selfish. Stop being a sensitive Beth.
How dare you? Louisa May Alcott actually didn't even want to write the book in the first place. Did you know that?
No. I forgot to do any research on her whatsoever.
I did the tiniest bit, and I do wish I had done more, but I did just the tiniest bit, and apparently she was pressured by her publisher to write something about girls.
Girls?
So she based the characters off her sisters and cranked the book out in 10 weeks.
Oh, shit.
She wrote that, so the book was actually released in 2 parts. So the first part was released, and this was before Beth died and all that jazz, and all the girls had their dreams and their lives ahead of them, and a bunch of girls wrote to her, wanting to know if her and Laurie got married, and begging for it to happen. And by the way, the second part of the movie is called Good Wives, or the book, sorry.
Oh.
So the second part of the book is super fucking disappointing.
Yeah.
Because they go on to marry these men and just lose all their dreams and become housewives. For example, Jo marries the Professor Bear, and she just drops her dream of wanting to become a writer. And they open a school together for little boys, and that's just how her...
That's how her life ends?
Teaching little boys, yeah. And just not being a writer, and... I know, it's pretty disappointing, right? I'm so sorry. But anyway, so girls would write and ask who they would marry, as if that were the only aim and the end of a woman's life, in Alcott's words.
Yeah,
so,
which we know.
Yeah, she refused to marry Jo off to Laurie just to please readers. And she instead elected to marry her to her older professors. There is no way the sequel would allow her to remain unmarried. But I wonder if she had been allowed to make that choice, if she would have. So it does sound like That's why I want to know more about her.
Yeah.
And her thoughts, because I'm like, that's really cool.
That is really
cool. She didn't want to write the book. She wrote books that were more like what Joe was writing, kind of like intense stories of like fanciful things.
Yeah, and adventures and all kinds of things, not just like, oh, I'm going to marry someone.
No. Anyway.
Gross. That's disappointing. What a bummer.
A little bit of a bummer.
Society ruining everything.
Yeah. Yeah, if she had been allowed to write her own book, I wonder how differently it would have turned out if it wasn't sort of dictated, I'm sure, by society, like you said, and her publisher and whatever else. To her, it was just kind of a nice paycheck in the end of the day.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah. So this movie's been remade at least 6 times by my account. Yeah. And there's one coming out this year, or that's being made this year.
Oh yeah, you said that and I forgot to ask. What? Tell me about that.
I don't have a lot of information about it. It's going to be directed by Greta Gerwig of Lady Bird fame.
Really?
Starring Saoirse and Emma Watson.
What?
Saoirse Ronan as Jo and Emma Watson, I think, is as Meg. That's literally the only thing I read about it. So we're obviously going to go see that. Right?
Oh, I'm looking it up right now because I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
They're still setting in like Civil War. I wondered if they would do like a reimagining of, but like an inspired by, so fall in the same storyline, but doing it in like today's society.
Right.
I kind of think that'd be interesting. Who's Florence Pugh?
Oh, I know the name.
That's rude of me.
I've definitely seen her in things.
Oh, anyway, yeah, Emma Watson, Saoirse. Oh, what? Okay. This is funny. Meryl Streep is going to be playing Aunt March.
Oh, yeah, you have a story time.
Not even a story, but like, you know who does or did not like Meryl Streep at all is Katharine Hepburn.
Okay, like what year is this?
Like her all of her life.
Why?
She said one of the things was she just does not like Meryl Streep. Because she can see her and everything she does, she knows exactly what her tactics are as an actor, and she can just see her working. I think basically is she can't, you know, when you're watching a movie and you just are involved in the world and you just let yourself go to it, she can't do that with Meryl Streep because she can see her working.
Interesting.
She sees Meryl Streep.
So, because when you told me that they had a beef, or, you know, that she didn't like Meryl Streep, I assumed they had, like, worked together on a film and they didn't get along.
No, she just did not like Meryl Streep.
Interesting.
Just had no, like, just was not a fan of hers and didn't think that she was a good actress. Which is so funny because they are some of the only ones with these, like, records for different, like, nominations and awards. Like, she has... Katharine Hepburn has the record for most wins. She has four Oscars, which is the most for a female, I think.
Oh, really? Of all time?
In that category or something. And then there's another one she had for nominations. She had like 12, but Meryl's winning with 21 nominations overall. It's insane. And there's only a handful of people that have been nominated in more than 5 different decades. Her, Meryl Streep, a couple of other people. Jack Nicholson was one. But there's like 5 people or something that have actually had a nomination in over 5 separate decades, which is
that's so interesting.
Quite the career. Like, that's insane. But yeah, she just does not like Meryl Streep, and is so surprising. My mother will be like happy to hear that because my mom does not like Meryl Streep.
Oh, for the same reason she can see her.
I don't know. I never actually asked her why. I'm not even sure if mom knows. Like herself, if she could pinpoint exactly what it is she doesn't like.
Yeah,
that she just knows she doesn't like.
That's fine. My mom has an irrational dislike of Daryl Hannah.
Daryl Hannah?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's irrational.
It is irrational. I like Daryl Hannah. Oh, that's
Well, I like Meryl Streep.
I know. I do too. There's always this little like back of my hair was like my mom doesn't like her. Now that's even bigger because like mom and Katharine Hepburn didn't like her. Just tainting my Meryl Streep love, which is really funny. But I just think that's it was just really interesting. Yeah, she thought, I was looking up, I'm on IMDb again trying to find that one thing about Meryl Streep, but she thought Melanie Griffith was a good actress but would fade away quickly. She also saw Julia Roberts as the next big thing, but the actress she loved above all was Vanessa Redgrave.
Aww.
She adored every performance Ms. Redgrave has ever given, would tell people that she was a thrill to look at and to listen to. I just thought was very fascinating. But
okay, so she wasn't just being a catty bitch.
No. Here, I found it. So she particularly disliked Meryl Streep, claiming she could recognize Streep's constant search for tactics during a performance. in the same fact or like trivia bit, Hepburn also thought Glenn Close talented, but said openly Close's feet were too big for audiences to take her seriously as an actress. So we'll take Miss Hepburn's opinion with a grain of salt.
God, what would Katharine Hepburn think of me and my big feet?
Can you imagine?
My size 9.5.
See, yeah, you be Glenn Close, and I'm just feeling very Meryl Streepy because I was like, oh God, I'm just like, am I a good actor? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of all the things I do. Shit.
Imagine how Meryl Streep feels. Can you imagine? This huge movie store just judging you on your performance so fucking harshly.
Like, it's Meryl Streep. Like, everybody knows Meryl Streep is one of the greats of our time.
Hey, you know what? Maybe Katharine Hepburn's just keeping it real, and that's the one thing keeping Meryl grounded because...
Hey, keep her from getting a big head.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, maybe we should thank Katharine. I don't know.
Okay, here's my very, very last fact.
Yes, please.
It has nothing to do with anything. It just kind of fell to the wayside, and here it is. So Joan Bennett, who I think played Meg, was actually pregnant, but she didn't tell the director that she was pregnant.
Saw that.
So they had to make several redesigns of her costumes to accommodate her.
Oh, she played Amy.
A little pregnant. Oh, she played Amy. Okay, because
I wrote that down because I knew I wasn't.
I'm so glad you wrote that down because I was staring at Meg and I was like, she is fucking tiny. How is she pregnant? So it was Amy. Okay.
Amy's the stupid little sister, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The blonde.
Oh yes, and she does go away and has like big bustly thing.
Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of fun that she she didn't say anything and she was just like, I'm gonna do this role and we're just gonna deal with it. And they had already hired her. So
well, and that happens now too, right?
Oh yeah, you can't tell anybody.
You don't want to get denied something just because you're pregnant. And
yeah.
Especially nowadays, you can hide everything with stunt doubles and CGI and all that.
Yeah, and
shit.
certain camera angles. Just
it's fine. We can take care of it. Yeah. That's so funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I like that. So they're like fun facts and stuff. What are your thoughts about the movie itself? Like the characters and the story, and do you identify? We did our BuzzFeed quizzes beforehand to figure out which sister we were, but now that we've watched it and refreshed our memories, who do you think you identify with most, or which Marge sister are you?
Good question. Because we did a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah, I got Meg both times.
You got Meg 2 times. We did a BuzzFeed quiz and we did a PBS quiz, and I got I forget who I got. I think I got Amy the first time,
and then you got Beth. I think, or you wanted.
No,
Beth.
I wanted
you
Beth.
Got Amy and Joe.
Yeah, I got Amy and Joe, and I was we're all over the map, I guess.
Yeah.
I identify with Aunt March, just like a grumpy old woman.
And lots of money.
Throws her dog around.
She has so much money. She's a dog and a parrot.
She's a lot of fun.
Goes to trips to Europe for her rheumatism.
Yeah, that's absolutely me. Who do you identify with the most?
Well, I don't know, because I know those are options.
I said Beth before, because she likes kittens, and I like kittens, and she's musical, and she dies young.
Tiffany.
I'm dead on the inside.
Tiffany. Don't say such things to me.
Sorry.
Don't like it. I think it's okay.
Who are you? Yeah, you kept getting Meg, who is called Bossy.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Yeah. We wrote those down. Meg was teeny bit vain, likes beautiful things, bossy and overbearing. Shit, that might be me.
That's everybody.
Damn it. Because I want to be Joe. I like Joe. She's my favorite.
Yeah, you're definitely a Joe.
But I think I might be a Meg.
You're a mix of both.
I'm a Meg Joe. I'm a Joe Meg.
Meg Joe.
I'm a Meg-a-fiend.
No, this was a lot of fun. It's so interesting to see how these roles are portrayed back in the day, because it's so different. How everybody talks is different. How they move is so different.
How they swear. Christopher
Columbus. Don't swear, Joe.
How could you?
Don't use slang. That's unladylike. It's just kind of a fun snapshot into our history, and I just love it. And I like to imagine people going to the theater,
yes.
Radio City Hall, where this was premiered, and watching this for the first time and laughing along. And I don't know, right? It's fun. It's fun to watch.
That's why I always like old movies. They're so different. I love a different time.
And the editing and the hard cuts.
Oh yes,
so awkward, but so
bad.
Fun. That continuity girl. I mean, get it together.
Yeah, I like that, and it's such an interesting story too about sisterhood and friendship and family and duty.
Oh my gosh,
and all of those things.
There's
what
such
you
a
have
sweet
to do
family
and sacrifice
too.
And yeah, it's just how to be less selfish and those kinds of things. I feel like Amy was portrayed much better than the version. I think I feel like it must have been the Susan Sarandon one.
Oh, with Kirsten Dunst.
She seems like a real...
Because Kirsten Dunst plays a spoiled brat very well, we saw in that movie and like Interview with the Vampire, right?
Yeah.
No, she was much sweeter, and there was definite growth in. Yeah. In actually most of the characters, there was growth, with the exception of like Beth. Who
dies.
She did.
Spoiler. She did.
And Meg was like kind of a nothing in the movie. That was one kind of bland character for me. She didn't.
She really had
she didn't do anything.
Part,
she just like fell in love with a man and had babies.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. See, that's where my correlation with Meg just dies, and I'm right off to Joe.
But I think it's just in this one.
In this version, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go to the remake and we'll see if Emma Watson can do a better job of her, and she's written a bit better.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that, actually. That'll be fun. We'll have to pack our cocktail in our wine to go mugs and go to the theater. Can we dress up for the theater and pretend like it's old school times?
Sure.
Sounds fun.
Wear some hats.
Okay. Oh my gosh. That's exactly what I meant.
I know. and one dirty glove and one clean glove.
Oh yes, because heaven forbid. I'll burn my dress in the back and
don't put your hands behind your back, too. Christopher
No
Columbus.
dancing for you. Heavens forbid. Heavens if anyone sees you have a patch in your dress. Christopher Columbus. And some of the laughs were so stupid.
Oh my god.
Honestly, just go watch this version of this movie because it's so ridiculous. And then when Laurie's telling Joe his secret about he found out she's oh my gosh, she knows, or when he finds out where her missing glove goes to Meg's glove because she's in love with the tutor or whatever.
Yeah, and he took her glove and kept it.
How do you know? Saw it? Where? Pocket? Pocket! He just shouts pocket.
He's ridiculous.
He couldn't even say sentences. Where did you find it? Oh, I saw it. Where did you see it? I saw it in his pocket. No. Where did you find it? Saw it? Where? Pocket? We rewound that like 8
Oh my gosh. And men, I think that's the biggest difference, is how men in classic films are portrayed too, right? They're just so fucking over the top and ridiculous.
So much. I was distracted a little bit in his declaring his love for her scene with Joe. Oh my gosh. By all the makeup he had on his eyes. So much. Like, could you have more purple eyeshadow on him? And eyeliner and mascara?
All of them, actually. Like, I noticed they all had quite heavy eye makeup.
Yeah. It's black and white, so you can't
And the eyebrows are plucked. Can we just talk about the eyebrows for like a minute?
Please.
They're so thin and so awful. All of the little girls in school with their thin little eyebrows that actually made them look like they were in their 30s. I was like, this is the most unbelievable part for me.
I mean, they probably were, but...
Absolutely they were, right?
God.
But no, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for...
Oh, good. I'm so glad you liked it. It was really fun to watch. I'm excited to tell you. I get to ask you questions, right? Because it's my movie. Is there rules?
Sure.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
We have no rules here.
We don't. Question 1, which I think we know. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Did we like it?
Yeah.
We did.
I did.
It was fun. Who would you recommend it for?
This is a specific movie. This isn't a movie that you can just recommend to anybody and expect them to watch it and enjoy it and be able to sit through it. So, good question. I guess people that already like classic movies or anyone that's a fan of Little Women, the story. Anyone that maybe wants to know more about Katharine Hepburn and see one of her first role, you said, right?
If you have sisters, maybe?
Yeah,
right?
But I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's probably why we enjoyed watching it so much together.
That's true, because you're like my sister.
But this also reminds me of like why I would never want sisters, and I'm glad I didn't have them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm not that selfless.
No, me either.
Like, I'd be real pissed off if, I don't know, I always hated how Amy ran off and like got to have she got her way in everything.
Yeah.
She was the baby, and she got her way. She wasn't the baby, was she?
She was the baby.
Was she the baby?
Mm-hmm, baby.
The baby.
So
but
she gets spoiled.
Oh, and I always hate that. I just don't like that spoiled thing. I don't know. Because, I don't know. Anyway. Going to delve into the psychology that is me. But, yeah, I didn't like her. She got the trip that Joe wanted. She gets Laurie. She gets everything.
She can have them.
Do you have to? Yeah, that's true. But, I don't know. It's like, did you have to, girl?
Absolutely. But again, with her, you saw the most character growth as well. So.
But then, did we, though?
I think so, but it took Beth dying to get there.
I guess.
Not so much in this movie, but in other... In the 1994 one, that's the only one I've seen.
I want to watch that one again because I don't really remember it.
Yeah,
I've seen it, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch it last night just to like remind myself what's happening. I was like, no, I don't want to watch this one first. I want this to be like
we need to watch them in order.
Chronologically.
1949 is next.
We skipped 1919 and 1918.
I don't want to watch a silent movie.
That's true. That'd be horrible. What mood should you be in to watch it?
A fanciful mood.
A mood for giggles?
A mood for giggles and laughs. A mood of love and romance. Any kind of mood. I don't even know what to expect, but it was just like, it was so
this
funny.
Is all over the place.
It's all over the place.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we laughed real hard.
We did laugh really hard watching this several times, like idiots, and had to rewind it and watch it again and again and again. My God.
Saw it. Pocket.
How do you know? Saw it. Where? Pocket. Oh. Just go get it.
Just
it's
watch
so
it. You'll know.
Yeah, it's real funny.
You'll know when it happens.
Like the ending is like whatever. I mean, it's not as hilarious, but the first like 3/4 are just ridiculous, full of fun. I mean, someone throws a dog on the ground. You'll have to watch to find out what I mean.
I was thinking about, now the fact that animals have to be so closely monitored on film sets. And I was just like, they definitely didn't have this then. And there was a bird, there was a dog, there were kittens.
And baskets all over the place.
Yeah, and horses too, and God knows what conditions. Those
Honestly.
poor animals.
I mean, that's not funny.
I mean, it's not, but it was funny. When she tossed
the dog was fine.
He was just like, oh, here I go.
Goodbye. I was having a nap, you bitch.
That's my favorite part. What else? What other questions you got for me?
I don't know. That's all the questions. I am done.
Oh, you didn't ask me to rate it.
What? Shit. How would you rate it? You were ready for it this time. Damn it.
I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
I would rate it 10 white gloves out of 10 buckets.
How do you know? So what? Where? Bucket!
Okay, that's enough.
Oh, fuck, that's so funny. I hope all of my gloves get located in a pocket.
And by the way, we finished our cocktail.
We did.
We haven't done that in a while because they're not always.
Gross. I had to force last
We
week's
had to
down.
choke the last couple down actually. So this one we both finished before the movie ended. Lasted.
The Babadook one. I had to
Shut up.
That's the only one that I've never finished. That I haven't finished before you.
I think there's been 3 or 4 that I haven't. I know.
See, I always have mine. I always finish before you have to yell at you to hurry up and drink the things.
This is the first one that I actually really enjoyed. And while I was drinking it, I was thinking about the different flavors and the different sisters, and I was like, fuck, if we didn't do a great job. High five.
Oh.
What a team.
Honestly, yeah, I think this is the best cocktail. Maybe not necessarily in flavor. We've had maybe more delicious ones.
Yeah.
But I think in thought and
the nuances,
the metaphors, and
the
how
layers.
we made it. I'm just so proud of us. I can't wait for you guys to hear about it. I'm so excited. It makes my heart the happiest.
Oh. Okay, let's wrap it up.
My pockets are full of gloves.
I wish we had a sound bite. Saw it? Where? Pocket! Okay.
Oh my god, okay. And that's, I guess that's how we're going to end.
It. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh no. Well, where did you see it?